was restart, I think, which is a confusing name for a thing that does not, in fact, restart.
Right, so we gotta go... I guess we started the soda at this point. Hi. We tried to load a save and then realized it wasn't going to work that way, so we got to go to here and then...
Tips 2.
Yeah, I guess we just go to tips, because nothing else is actually available yet. We got to read tips, because we read through...
We haven't read Chapter 3.
You haven't read Chapter 3, okay.
But we should read the tips, I think.
Yeah, okay.
What to read in a teen mag?
What? Would you mind getting out of my face?
Come on, I'm writing about a chick your age. Give me some material.
Arisugawa. Are you an author?
Are you a mystery author, Arisugawa?
Uh-oh. I don't know. Like he's the one making the most aside from Suave Family Friend. I wonder light novel author.
I see.
Leave me alone. Or did you run out of things to do? Don't you have a job?
Look, I'm about to start working. Actually, that gives me an idea. Come with me.
What the fuck? What? Hey, wait, stop pulling me.
Where did the others go to? Oh, they went to the arcade.
Casual, Samejima.
Wow, look at that shirt. Look at his proportions. He's very wide shoulders, but this guy's got like the inverted triangle. Like Jesus Christ!
It's like you ever see like the rigging models for the rigging for a 3D model. And it's a simple one. So there's like one shoulder, another shoulder, and then there's right in the middle of the pelvis, and it's like a triangle.
Yep. I get you.
He's the rigging model. They didn't put the rest of the torso on it. Really broad shoulder, really narrow pelvis, triangle.
Angling to be a really powerful businesswoman in the 1980s. The arcade. I see. Well, that's a shame. I just gave the duty table another thorough look and was hoping to hear their opinions. It's been so long since I've done that particular voice, and I'm not even particularly good at the accent. It's just... Shall I go over it for you? I'd appreciate it, though do keep in mind I essentially revised it for their sake. I'm assuming we'll have plenty of garbage this week as well. Why do you look so happy about that? Anyway, we do have to do something.
Toma glanced at the calendar. The year was nearing its end.
Do you know what day it is?
Do tell.
Year-end tax adjustment day.
No, it's New Year's. Look around, there's way too much garbage here. Let's take this opportunity and clean up.
The other three's expressions had turned sour before Toma even had...
I see what's happening here. One of the microphone cables is hanging out on top of the keyboard.
Before Toma even had the chance to finish his sentence. You gotta be kidding me. This is what I cleared my schedule for?
Gee, if I'd known this, I would have just gone to Shibuya.
I forgot to pick up New Year's gift envelopes. May I go buy some? I suppose you could...
Wait, no, let's just clean up.
God, what did I even do to deserve this? If only I had some agency in my decision to live here with you people.
Cloth in hand, Niigaki mumbled idle complaints under her breath as she busied herself with wiping off a dirty window.
There's gotta be a way to skip out.
She looked behind her. She saw Samejima slowly wringing out a cloth with a surprising amount of effort.
I'm quite good at cleaning with a cloth. Wherever I wipe, not a single stain is left.
The chill went down Niigaki's back.
On second thought, maybe not.
Don't need that, or even that. Yeah, I might as well throw all this out.
Wow, Arisugawa's side is so clean. I'm relieved to see he does actually know how to clean up. Huh?
Samajima's corkscrew, don't need that. Half-used detergent, just got a new one. Jesus.
Oh.
A cactus? Who's even watering this thing? Oh, wine. Guess I'll just borrow this.
Oh, okay. Arasugawa.
Hey, would someone please explain to me what all these cleaning supplies are doing here?
Oh, they are mine. You see, I can't calm down unless I wash my hands with peroxide.
With peroxide?
Huh.
Unless I'm forgetting what you use that for, that's maybe too strong for that?
Yeah, I'd imagine that'd dry up your hands or something, at the least.
Okay.
Huh? Oh, wow. It's that book about Debussy. I've been meaning to learn about all of that Bussy for a long time. Sorry. It's that book about Debussy. I thought I'd lost this. Who would have thought it'd be here of all places? Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
Yo, Bach, put the book down and get back to cleaning. You'd just end up reading the whole goddamn thing in one sitting.
Is he calling him Bach? Is he a composer?
Oh, sorry. My hand just moved on its own. What is this album? Oh, is this from Arasugawa's school years?
Don't make it your job to check random shit.
I'm so glad we're
That's
on
my
it.
job. To check random shit and throw it into the trash unless I want it personally.
Samejima, there's a place I can't reach.
Arasugawa, I'm washing the sink like you said, but that album really was.
The two had glanced away for only a moment, but when they looked back. Hey?
Oh.
Ugh.
They saw Arisugawa and Samejima locked in a glaring contest, almost like they were about to go for each other's throats. Guess I'll be settling my score with you before the year's out.
How curious. I was thinking the exact same thing. I can hardly ring the New Year's bell with such filth around. Why does this always happen? It's cleaning time.
He's got like in between the knuckles. That's how you know it's serious business. Will you please stop pointing the spray cleaners at each other? Those are toxic.
Ah!
Arasugawa, my special cleaning sticks are not for throwing. Oh, do your eyes need cleaning? Shall I wipe them for you with this sponge?
You're not exactly being thorough yourself, buddy. I guess you just can't avoid blind spots, huh? Don't you worry, though. I'll stuff these into each and every one of your holes.
Oh, you want me to fuck you so much it makes you look gay. Come on now, that's enough, you two.
Toma watched their heated exchange with soapy hands. But since he had no power to stop them, he simply looked around uncomfortably. I love that furious Samejima looks exactly the same as elated Samejima.
Right,
Looks
just
exactly the same as any other time of day Samejima.
absolutely not willing to change anything for the sake of whatever he's emoting.
Niigaki.
God, you people drive me up the wall. Well, that's it. I'm done. I'm out. I'm going back to my parents.
Guess I'll go clean the kitchen then.
Also, you have parents and your parents let you... What? 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 You're gonna keep cleaning? You should just leave them here.
I can't greet the new year when there's still work to be done. It'd be the only thing on my mind.
Goodness gracious. Listen up, losers. Get back to work or else.
Who you calling a loser?
Oh, come now. There are some who enjoy that kind of verbal abuse.
God, I want to go home so bad, but Toma's still trying. Arasugawa, we're wiping glasses. Samejima, go clean the kitchen with Toma.
Huh?
Don't me. It's already been decided. Do it or your darling will get a flat tire as a New Year's gift.
You took my mini hostage. I suppose we have no choice then.
Let's go, Niigaki.
Don't order me around, you monkey.
The cleaning, which they started early in the morning, ended up lasting until the evening. Oh, Kohaku's up.
I didn't prepare any New Year's soba, though. I wonder if I'd make it in time if I started now.
Do you even have the energy to do that? I can go without soba.
Oh, really? A New Year without soba?
Why not just get some udon?
New Year's udon? That's heresy.
Pipe down, Bach. You made the ED have a heart failure.
I wasn't shocked at all. I'm sorry, Samajima.
The things you get mad at are so weird sometimes.
We've got Red Fox and Green Tanuki. That'll do, I guess. You don't have to narrate.
Oh, right. I keep forgetting.
You don't
that I'm
have to.
narrating.
We could just remain here on this screen. No one says we have to finish the game.
Yeah, we could just sit on a still screen for ages.
Yeah, weird metafictional device where we just don't refuse to finish reading the novel.
The four slurped their cup ramens in front of a bulky CRT TV, watching the national singers perform. Suddenly, Arisugawa changed the channel.
Hey, what gives?
No one was watching that anyway. The screen now displayed a variety show with suited adults having a serious conversation.
The world will end before New Year's. Oh, I guess they're saying that the coming New Year's.
Maybe. Though they weren't too interested, they all listened to what the people on TV were saying. Just let it end already, someone whispered. Everyone present shared the sentiment. The end of the year, huh? This reminds me, I actually died without doing any major cleaning for the year. I suppose this takes place a little bit ahead of the story I interfered with. I'd last met Kikuchi Ryo and the others on the second Friday of December. We seemed to be behind those four who were just about to enter the next year. I sort of just assumed that both groups had started on the same point.
A little bit ahead. Okay. Okay, behind in the sense that it came after. Got it.
Yeah, I got confused as well when it said both ahead and behind
Yeah,
to
and
describe the thing.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, hold on. No, okay. As we suspected, this takes place in the past compared to the stories we saw in the first bit.
Wait, is that what it said? Can we look at it again? Because I looked at it again and concluded the exact opposite. We seemed to be behind these four who were just about to enter the next year. I'd last met Kikuchi Ryo and the others. We seemed to be behind these four.
So wait, Mamiya dies after? A little bit
Interesting.
ahead. See, a little bit ahead to me means a little bit before. Last met Kikuchi Ryo and the others on the second Friday of December. Seemed to be behind these four who were just about to enter the next year.
It makes sense. Second Friday of December does occur before December 31st.
I guess. All right. But that's not when Mamiya died. The funeral was... Right. So I think the stories with these folks take place before the turn of the new year. Right? Just when people are starting to say, hey, the world's going to end before the next new year. And then that's the last time he'd met Kikuchi Ryo and the others. And then Natsume dies.
Is this... So I thought when it said that the last time he met them was when he interfered.
I thought the last time he met them was the last time he met them.
Okay. I guess it's not clear.
Last met Mikuchi. I guess because he's saying he met them all at once. Huh.
Because it seems like he's talking about the story
Yeah.
and not about his life.
Huh. If someone, if you're in the comments and you know what we're supposed to make of this, let us know. Because I think this is just a we're having trouble with language day.
To me, it sure seems like it's Natsume Died is an event that happens in December, mid-December.
Uh-huh.
And he met those guys at the funeral on the second Friday. And now this other storyline is happening.
But then
at the end of the year.
Mamiya died then still before even all that.
Do we know that?
Unless Mamiya unless like this tip scene takes place like within the span of like a week from when Mamiya's funeral was, and they all moved in and then had all this happen, which doesn't seem like the case.
Okay, I understand what you're getting at now. Yeah, it would be kind of surprising if they were able to completely move in together and do all of that stuff in the span of just like 2 weeks. So yeah, I guess that would put Mamiya Died as an event before the beginning.
Sorry, yeah, that's what I was getting. Let us know if you've already finished the game. We'll let you break the cone of silence just for this one. Let us know if we have the timeline here right, or if we're meant to be confused or whatnot. Just it doesn't seem like something we're meant to be confused about, and probably just we're having a language moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
some of us didn't get good sleep.
I don't know what you're talking about. I got plenty of good sleep.
Me too.
Between the hours of 1 and 4 p.m.
I can't just be making assumptions like that. I'm going to need more information. My vision is losing focus.
Oh, what?
What was that? A vision half in static, the dark, despair-addled faces of the people from that pink house, and bodies covered in blood.
Oh, wait, no, they're saying that the world's going to end at New Year. So, like, within a few hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
The ending depicted here was... No. I don't want to see anyone hurt or lose their lives. I've had enough of that. It's all Mamiya's fault. Why are you so... Why? Cool.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I don't know what to make of all that, but...
I've been starting to wonder whether it's so convenient that we have 2 groups of 4, right?
Yeah.
And I've been starting to wonder if there's some way that the groups of 4 in the tips are connected to the groups of 4.
We know at least one connection. And I feel like... I almost feel like, for some reason, Mamiya has it in their mind that these 4 hold the keys to the happiness of those 4. That
Interesting.
That Natsume's 4 hold the key to happiness for Mamiya's 4.
Okay.
Which is why Mamiya's showing up and spectating their lives and trying to make things happen.
I was wondering something like, it's also really convenient. So there's 4 of them in one, 4 in the other. 4 of them in one story, and Natsume is intervening to get them all together, right? 4 of them in the other. Is Mamiya intervening to get those 4 together?
Did Mamiya intervene to get them to... Because they don't seem to want to be there.
Yeah.
But...
Or are these 4 in some way a metaphor for the other 4, and this one is like not the same level of story?
Wait, metaphor?
Yeah.
I never met a 4 I didn't like.
Got him.
4 people.
But
metaphor and metaphor and then 4 and then 4.
Got him.
Yeah, okay, sorry, I'm done now.
But like, is it a thing that is going to be that kind of metafiction where this is like a different level of story that's going to in some way be a metaphoric retelling of the events that happen when these 4 get together, despite being an odd
I don't know.
set.
I think maybe that's a step too far for me just now, but I like the big swings. I like the big swings.
one way or another, it's at least weird that there's that many parallels going on.
Oh, yeah. December, first Friday.
And then I had this idea. What if we put a letter in Natsume's grave, then dig it up and open it like a time capsule 10 years later?
Making graves into time capsules.
The future us will read how we felt about him. Doesn't that sound great? Well, it's an interesting, fantastical, and wonderful idea, but it might get you arrested for grave digging and vandalizing the dead. Oh. I'm going to write that down for later.
What?
They're still not here, huh? Yeah. 10 minutes earlier. All right. I fixed my tie and went on my way to the church. My strong, determined manner of walking and furrowed eyebrows were only a means of dispersing my worry.
Someone in the comments brought up a good question. Is this what Natsume looks like, or is this what Natsume inserting into the story looks like?
I bet the latter.
I thought so too, but then why would he have that appearance in the realm of the readers?
Oh,
that's
interesting.
Yeah, that's why because I'd go hard in on like, yeah, this is probably just what he looks like to them, but then why would he still have that appearance, in front of the librarian? I'm beginning to think more of like the characters' images we see here are more representative than they are literal.
Yeah, I feel you. That makes a lot of sense. Right.
Shit.
I already read that line.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I already read it. Just thinking about what we'd have to talk about made me weak in the knees. If I failed this, they would be faced with a violent death again. There was absolutely no room for mistakes. Ugh, the tension alone is making my stomach hurt. And that was still nothing compared to everything else I had on my plate. Why on earth did I claim to be Natsume? I got greedy. There was no other way to put it. I should have just thought of a fake name. Why did I even take a risk by using my real one? My face flushed red with shame and embarrassment. Why did I do it? I hadn't done anything this greedy back when I was still alive. Ugh, my cheeks are all warm, but my stomach's cold and lonely. Some combination, huh? I ended up having to lean on the walls to make it all the way to the church. It was exactly 5 p.m. on a Friday. I watched the second hand reach the top, then opened the heavy door. Ah, Natsume, hello! A youthful voice resounded throughout the church. It came from the tall young man known as Suo Kato. He stood up and greeted me with nothing but politeness. Huh? Where were the others? I looked around, but saw only him. Where's everyone else? I don't know. I've just arrived myself. Maybe they're running late. Let's wait a bit. I sat down next to him and watched the time as we waited for the other three to arrive. Half an hour had already passed, yet no one turned up.
Yeah, they're like, no, I'm good.
My conversation with Suo Kato was going in circles, too. His impatience had grown so much that he even started counting the empty seats in the church.
Oh, really?
Maybe they forgot to come.
I imagine Suo Kato with his leg bouncing, right? Let me guess. Teachers had a hard time getting him to focus in school, huh?
My complaints got a miserable oh no out of Suo. What if they're intentionally staying away? We don't even know how to get in touch with them. Should we hold another funeral for Natsume? Don't say things like that. The situation both saddened and hurt me. I had asked them all to come mourn Natsume, yet the only one to show up was Suo Kato.
Is this going to be a thing where, like, Natsume was important to them, but he's also going to realize not that important?
Maybe.
I don't know. There's this weird thing in fiction where the idea of someone's passing and what people will do after their death is romanticized to a degree, right? Where we're like, oh, like even after I'm gone, my shadow is going to be cast over their lives for a long time. And it's an effective literary device, but not all people. In fact, I wager most people are not that. People will be sad when you die. Your loved ones will mourn you. And yet, life still has to go on, right? It's people don't spend every waking hour, or generally don't, thinking and remembering and mourning. They gotta go to work. They gotta make dinner. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's a weird kind of, but also it's not like people forget about you. You know what I mean? It's a weird kind of presumption on Natsume's part to be like, I'm so important to them that they will dedicate these days to coming back and specifically remembering me if I ask them to do that. And because it's in a work of fiction, we don't really think about that angle, but like it is a strange thing. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I don't know either, but it suddenly evoked a thing. So do you want to hear my weirdly specific death memory?
Yes, always.
For some reason, one that both absolutely doesn't hang over me in any way, but that also I remember on a semi-regular basis is, of all things, my down south elementary school's vice principal. Who died of breast cancer I would have been in 2nd or 3rd grade, I think, at the time. And my mother was close with her and was saddened by this. And it was the first time that someone's death close to the family in some way had registered to me. So it just kind of sits there where it's like, oh, dang, that's too bad. My mother lost someone that she respected and was saddened to lose. And I also kind of had my first moments of, oh, I'm a 2nd grader and now I'm learning that death means things are final and people have to cope with that and move on. And anyway, as a result, now, decades later, about once a year or so, something comes up and I remember the death of my elementary school vice principal. And I'm like, she was kind of nice. It was kind of sad when she died early and unexpectedly.
Yeah. For me, I managed to make it till about being a teenager before a death really registered for me. It was my grandfather. Actually, and I still remember vividly where I was, what I was doing, and how I reacted to that. Because I was at work at the time. It was like 16, maybe 17 at that point.
Yeah,
it's a lot. But
it is.
Anyway, I don't want the takeaway to be that people won't mourn you when you die. It's just the weird presumptiveness that when you die, it's gonna be like the plot of a YA novel. You know what I mean? Not throwing shade on anyone's in particular.
If only grief were so elegant.
Right? God. Could you imagine, like, your grief fucking you up so badly that, like, I was about to spoil something else. I'm not going to actually spoil that other media. Never mind. It's about grief, it turns out.
I see. Then again, I should have expected this. They'd already been to the funeral, and it wasn't like they knew me all that well.
SK just let the game play for one more sentence challenge.
It really drove home the point just how weak and friendless I was.
Huh.
Wallowing in self-pity, I sounded a brief chuckle, which was when my eyes finally met Suo's. He looked somewhat perplexed. Well, since he was here, the least I could do was honor his wishes to the best of my abilities. So, what now? Do we call it a day or start the discussion with just the two of us? Suo Kato looked into the distance and made a ponderous, Since we took the time to come here, I would at least like to discuss what's best for Natsume. It'd be nice to do it with more people around, though. I see. I nearly went ahead and thanked him, but managed to hold back. Are you free after this, Suo, or do you maybe need to be home by a certain time? Oh no, I'm free for the day.
Avoiding eye contact.
Let's go then. I stood up and looked down at Suo, which seemed to have puzzled him. I didn't have any means of contacting them, but I did know their stories. Let's go find them. We'll start with the school. Kikuchi Ryo and Tojo Minato attend the same school. We might be able to find them there. Since you're familiar with all that, I'm assuming you also went to that school? I did, yeah. We looked up at the school building. I'd been attending this place until just a few days ago, but now it actually seemed kinda nostalgic. Let's head inside. Natsume, that's the student entrance. Huh? Oh, right. The guest entrance leading into the all-too-familiar school building looked so distant that it made me feel almost like a hopeless romantic who had been cast aside by the object of his affection.
I wasn't aware that there was a distinction between student and guest entrance. Is that a common for all of the anime and manga I've read set in Japanese high schools? This has never come up before.
Yeah.
Is this common? Am I just...
Could be it's just so common you don't bother to mention it.
Man, what if that's the case?
What business do you have here?
Oh, you really want it? All right.
No, you're the janitor.
No. I thought you would want a break.
I did, actually, but I forgot that I could make you be a voice.
Well now, what business y'all got here?
The aged employee behind the glass was another familiar face. I briefly hesitated to answer, but at a quick glance at Suo Kato gave me a flash of inspiration. We came to take a look at the school. Suo, my little brother, is considering enrolling here. Good thing it was December. Plenty of people would check out schools around this time of year in preparation of the coming entrance exams. I could tell that Suo was looking at me, but I kept a composed expression and went along with my lie. I realize it might be rude of us to barge in like this uninvited, but since we happened to pass by...
Well, now, give me a moment. I gotta ask the school's administration.
Thank you. The aged employee stood up and disappeared further in. Suo Kato was about to say something, but before he could, the man returned with a familiar smile on his face.
You're allowed to look around, though please hang these cards round your necks.
Thank you. I made a smile that said, thanks for everything, we might never meet again. The man reacted to it with a puzzled expression.
Say what you will, I think that's actually a really useful expression, and it's one I tend to use specifically for service industry workers, where it's like, thanks, I really appreciate the work you do, and I hope this was a pleasant experience. I will never see you again in my life. You know what I mean?
Yep. But I go to a school that covers both middle and high.
Shh.
Suo Kato pouted.
Shh, baby boy, shh.
Hey, it's fine. We got in, didn't we? Oh, and you, as my older brother, seriously? Just play along. The tall young man flashed an uncharacteristically mischievous grin, making me feel a little embarrassed.
Huh. Do they all see this Natsume as the same person?
I don't know.
Is Natsume coming into their lives like this and trying to bring them all together, also making him like the MAMIYA figure from the other four?
Interesting. I don't know.
Huh.
We're here. Kikuchi Ryo and Tojo Minato go to this class. And so did I.
I can tell from the background.
I timidly opened the door and saw only a handful of students inside, their figures bathed in the evening sun. Sorry, may I ask something?
What is it?
They initially gave us suspicious looks, but eased up once they spotted the cards on our chests. I knew these people. They belonged to Tojo Minato's group of friends. We're looking for Tojo Minato.
What's your business with him?
Like true modern children, they didn't open up to strangers very easily. My brother here is thinking about taking the entry exams for this school, and Tojo's the one who recommended it to him, so we figured we'd drop in to say hi.
Oh, Tojo left right when classes ended.
Yeah, he's got a part-time job. I see. What about Kikuchi Ryo? My question sent a wave of confusion across the room. Kikuchi? We don't know. I see. Thank you.
Just go out in the parking lot and try to start a fist fight.
Right, I shouldn't have said that. I rushed out of the classroom, hoping that would magically erase my blunder. I had to hurry before Suo Kato realized something.
Before Suo Kato realized what?
Why would he know which class?
Oh, that the two of them went to?
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
How did it go? They already left. Let's go somewhere else. Oh, okay. I would have preferred to stay a bit longer, honestly. You don't usually get a chance to walk around someone else's school, you know?
That's true. It's a weird feeling, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
When you go to someone else's high school, because you spend so much time in yours, and unless you're moving around a lot, then it feels like this really kind of permanent fixture, and then you go to another one, you're like, what the fuck? This is so overwhelming. Like that's someone else's. I don't know if liminal is the right word, but it's certainly, because it has the feeling of being both familiar and completely wrong at the same time. You know what I mean?
The weirdest for me was always, did you ever have any of the things where school or some extracurricular held an event in a local college?
No, never.
We had a couple. One of them. Gee, which one took me to the liberal arts college up the road? One of them did to that, and I don't think it was geography B, but it was something like that.
Oh, like that stuff. Yeah.
And then,
no, I did have like some school extracurriculars that would like have competitions at the local university.
Yeah, and then I had my homeroom teacher and some other random nerds started a philosophy reading group that eventually ended up meeting at the local university campus. And those were both like, oh, I am like a 9th or 10th grader, and I am on a college campus, and suddenly everything feels really weird and out of place because it's like, oh, this isn't a school. This is a college. It's different from school. People don't go here and then do a school day and then take the bus home. People live here.
Yeah.
There's like dining halls that serve all the meals of the day. Am I allowed to touch anything? Am I allowed to eat the food? What's going on? And then I got to college and it's like, oh, you just live here and then you take classes and you eat the food and then it's normal.
Yep.
It's not actually that weird.
It's
But it was very weird at the time.
Oh, the strange out of placeness of being a child in explicitly adult spaces.
Exactly that. In a space populated entirely by people roughly 4 to 8 years older than I then was. Anyway, now that I've derailed this episode twice with random past memories, let's drop by some other time then.
No, it's okay. The people love it.
I tapped him on the back, and we both went back the way we came. Is this how it starts? Me becoming old and constantly diverting everything into back in my day tangents?
I don't know. I'm feeling we're already old. Like even when I was like playing video games with people like maybe a few years younger than me, I'm still the boomer somehow. And I'm like, I'm too young to be a boomer by several decades.
Back in my day, when we visited colleges while I was still in high school, and I had an onion on my belt, as was the style at that time.
The good news is that as soon as you reach that age, you can also make up bullshit.
See, we're not old enough to just make up bullshit and have folks not call us on it, though. We need another we need another at least a decade, maybe a couple.
I think that's the litmus test. I think that's the litmus test right there is, are you old enough where you can just make up random bullshit and no one will call you on it? This also works if you're too rich, though, so maybe that's not the best.
We didn't have computers yet. You had to write your Facebook posts on clay tablets.
God, still...
They did have Wi-Fi, though.
They did have Wi-Fi. God, fucking Wi-Fi, man.
Anyway, now that I've derailed us a third time...
You want to go for the 4-Pete?
Thinking about it.
All right.
I threw one final glance into the classroom, realizing that the seat belonging to Natsume was now gone for good.
Maybe some of this is about getting Natsume to come to grips with his own, with his own unfinished life. Let it not remain unsaid. Natsume died as a high schooler.
Yep.
Right? And that's very, very young and leaves so much of the life ahead of it. Trying to think of there was an anime I watched just based entirely around an afterlife that was designed to give high school kids who had died at that age a chance to kind of just process it and move on because they had died without so much of their life. Angel Beats.
I was going to say, and I forget how much of a spoiler that is to the setting.
It's Angel Beats. No one gives a shit. If you give a shit about spoilers for Angel Beats, I'm sorry, but it's Angel Beats. You watch it for the high school girls with guns, okay? You don't. But yeah, I gotta imagine some of this at least is Natsume has not once mentioned the trauma or circumstances of his own death.
Yep.
And I have to imagine some of this is also for his benefit, right? Some of this also has to be about helping him come to grips with it and helping him move on and be okay with how his life ended.
Yep. I'm wondering, what if that's what some of this is going to be, where, Mamiya is hanging around and wrecking people's lives, but also Natsume is hanging around
and wrecking people's lives.
Yeah, and part of getting this to come to an end is Natsume accepting, maybe
that you don't interfere anymore.
Yeah.
That their lives go on without you, and that's okay.
Yeah. Although it does seem like that kind of didn't work out the first time around because of Mamiya, so maybe it's not quite that message, but
yeah,
something.
and because why would Mamiya be interfering?
Yeah.
Unless Mamiya is also Natsume.
Ooh, spicy.
I've got nothing but spicy takes here.
I like that.
Yeah, but
it's like Natsume's despair and his hope for these people's lives, grappling over meddling in those lives until he can finally kind of transcend both of those and actually move on and let them move on.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah, exactly. This is.
It also makes the whole game a battle within the mind, which I'm down for.
Yeah, which I'm always about that. I know what sometimes people will say that framing device is kind of a cop-out, and I guess it is if you're the kind of person who is only satisfied if every single mechanical element of a story can be explained by something by some particular piece of equipment in the universe. But if you just like emotionally resonant stories that that care more about having the characters like reach to a certain point and then come around and have those, like, that movement is that's the tastiest bit. That's the tastiest bit.
They're probably at their part-time jobs. I knew from the stories that Kikuchi Ryo worked at a donut shop, but damn, I've no idea where Tojo Minato works.
How do you not know? How do you not know where he works?
I wonder if that oddly attractive woman named Mina might have some idea.
God!
I've never seen them in the same place at the same time, which is odd.
Natsume, you dumbass!
It might have been a good idea to ask his friends, but since we had already left the school, it would have seemed odd to suddenly show back up.
Oh, that wonderful thing where you leave a place and then think of a reason that you needed to still ask something, but you're like, nope, can't go back, I already left.
I thought back to all the stories I'd read in the hopes I'd remember some kind of a hint, but I was drawing a total blank.
Wow.
What if this is...
I thought better of you, Natsume.
But wait, what if this is supposed to be totally non-obvious and we just leapt on it early for gay reasons?
What do you mean not? Their names are literally the same. Minato makes a point of showing up in the last scene of that arc just to drive it home. What do you mean it's not obvious?
What if that's
Sorry,
subtlety?
maybe I don't know how to read games anymore like cis people do.
Yeah, what if that is subtlety?
What is subtle about it? Would you like a couple of arrows flashing and pointing at them?
She could carry a big sign.
Part of Minato's arc was explicitly feeling guilty over the desire to look feminine. What the fuck? Natsume! Learn how to critically read, my dude.
It's also funny because it definitely shows that Natsume knows a lot less about the lives of these people he cares for and is trying to save than...
Yeah, I know, and it's so interesting being like, and admittedly, like he himself was like, and yeah, like I wasn't a huge part of their lives, like I barely knew them, they barely knew me.
These people were super important to me, but also I have no idea what they do in their free time or what they're actually like.
So it's really calling into question the central conceit of like how important was he to their lives, right? And why were they at his funeral like that? We know why Kaito came back for the first Friday here, right? Because Kaito just wants to be the protagonist of some story, and that seems promising.
I do know where he lives, though. You do? How? Suo was visibly shocked when he heard me mumble to myself.
Magic.
Oh, well, I kind of just know. That's a good face. I tried to laugh it off, but he kept on staring at me with a look of profound confusion.
Am I hanging out with a stalker? Does the stalker know where I live?
Natsume, could it be that you're actually... I was really hoping he wouldn't suddenly label me as a criminal. That was honestly the last thing I wanted him to see me as.
Are you trying to give him summons?
A private detective? Something you should know that you can't tell at the moment because you don't have headphones on.
Yes.
Has been that...
Again, piercing healing.
Throughout this chapter 3, every time Suo smiles brightly, it's playing a loud, sparkly noise.
That's so adorable. Good for him.
Smiles so bright you can hear it with your eyes closed.
Oh my god.
Huh? You look so much like one. It's gotta be the trench coat, you know.
Okay, so he still sees the trench coat. All right.
Oh. Huh? Did I get it wrong? No, I'm just ashamed is all. Detectives should be able to blend in without getting found out this easily. I made a troubled smile. Suo was positively beaming from ear to ear.
Yeah, so if he sees so this might... Maybe it is just what Natsume looks like to them, then.
But it's so obvious. I guess it is. I'd have to use that from now on. After some walking, we arrived at the donut shop where Kikuchi Ryo worked. Unless he was picking up his little sister Midori or out shopping, he would be here. I opened the door, hoping to find him inside.
Welcome. I forget what voice I gave him, but I think it was kind of mildly bored like this.
Yeah. And there he was, in the flesh. He stood behind the register, eyes sharp as usual. Kikuchi Ryo!
Oh, shit, fuck. How did you know I worked here?
I'm so glad we found you.
Right.
As I rushed in front of him, Ryo simply kept nodding with his eyes wide open in shock.
Oh. I'm impressed you knew where I was.
Seeing my face seemed to have jolted his memory, I was glad he remembered me.
I haven't forgotten about our agreement, but I found out just last night I'd have to handle today's shift as well. And I had no way of letting you know, so, sorry about that.
He made a deep bow. It's fine, don't worry about it.
I was planning to drop by the church after my shift, even if I ended up running late.
I found myself moved by his sincerity. He actually did intend to keep his promise.
Totally. Absolutely 100%, man. Whatever gets the stalker out of my donut shop.
Wow, these donuts look crazy good. Anyone in particular you'd recommend?
I'd recommend the bear claws, but I'm not sure we have any bear claws.
Suo must have been hungry, and understandably so. It was getting kind of late. His eyes glittered with joy as he surveyed the lineup of colorful gem-like donuts on display.
Absolutely. Our strawberry ring donut comes highly recommended.
I love how fucking serious he looks as he's recommending the strawberry donut.
Donuts are serious business, all right?
This is a part-time job, but also a part-time calling, really.
Did we know, is this a family business? Or is this just where he works part-time?
I don't think this is a family business.
Okay, so
I think the family business is going out and hanging around men and getting drunk and being abusive.
I forgot what Rio's family is like for a moment. Yeah, but like some of it does have to be that because I like he must have had chose to apply here.
Yeah, and he knows what's up with donuts apparently.
Yep.
So, brief interlude. What's your preferred donut?
Oh God, my preferred donut?
Yeah.
I know this might be a little bit of a common thing for people from the area here, but I really do like maple. Just maple glazed. I think maybe the best individual like if I'm getting like a Dunkin' Donuts donut, maple glazed is the way to go. Or something like that. But in terms of like best donut just in raw concept, cider donut.
Okay.
Yeah. If we're doing like a weird Dunkin' Donuts thing, I'll get a maple glazed. But the only donut I will ever go out of my way to actually purchase is a thing of cider donuts.
That's fair.
Yep. How about you?
I think for me, if we're talking like Dunkin' Donut types, it's tough to choose between the strawberry frosted and the maple frosted. I like both roughly equally. I already liked actual maple flavor.
No, but everyone vaguely likes maple flavor, but maple flavor being your favorite.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the weird New Englander bit.
Anyway, I never actually eat donuts, so this is all largely theoretical.
You get cider donuts when I get them.
Yeah,
when I'm in my apple
like
fugue.
Once a year.
Well, thanks for introducing a question you had no satisfying answer to.
I did have an answer to. I think that was a perfectly good answer.
You gonna read your line?
I'll think about it. Kikuchi Ryo raised his voice and puffed out his chest, both rare actions from him. However, I see. Oh, I'll have one of these whipped cream donuts.
You have chosen poorly. Well, all right. Is it because he's doing the baking? I guess maybe he has some more agency over the baking, and he's like...
His passion didn't seem to reach Suo. Tojo Minato also failed to show up at the meeting, so we're actually looking for him too.
Tojo? If he's not at school, he should be at his part-time job.
And do you know where that is?
Nope.
Really? But I thought you two got along.
Well...
Kikuchi Ryo placed a hand on his forehead, seemingly thinking about something.
I used to know where he worked, but then he suddenly switched jobs. I mean, you could try to look up his previous workplace, but I doubt you'll find him there. Wouldn't count on it at any rate. He's kind of, fickle like that.
I see.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I guess we have an idea of why he suddenly switched jobs, but it's interesting that Ryo sees his friend as fickle.
I feel like it would be easy to see a person as fickle if they're concealing a core part of their identity that's driving their decisions from you, even though you're a close friend.
Right.
Then it's just like, oh, they keep doing these things and I don't know the reason. And like, of course you don't. They have a really good reason that's consistent. They just kept it secret.
Right. They just... Every parent with when a trans kid comes out. What? But I had no idea. Why? Why? It's so inconsistent with Jesus Christ. Oh, right. You need to read that line.
In that case, we were probably better off moving Morichika Haruki up the priority list and starting with him instead. I nodded in understanding. Thanks, Kikuchi Ryo. We'll come back once we're done.
Oh, sure. And you don't want any donuts. Donuts that I worked on. Donuts that I'm proud of, unlike my ability to clock people upside the head.
Next up is Morichika Haruki. He's not a student, is he? Do you know where he works? Probably nowhere. Nowhere? You mean he's an adult without a job, but we already have 2 working students. True.
Suo learning very rapidly about the realities of adulthood here.
Why doesn't he work?
Oh, you babe.
Why? That's a good question, actually. My heart ached for Suo's purity in regards to people like Morichika Haruki. Albeit in his own way, Morichika too was difficult to get a hold of. We first went to the pachinko parlor he frequented.
Why do you think he spends so much of his money gambling if it's hard for him to come by?
I don't know.
Does he enjoy that, or is it like a habit, a compulsion, or is it like he's in the hole for something big and the only way out is a big windfall?
That just reminded me tangentially of the best thing I saw.
Yeah?
The best thing I saw.
Yeah?
The ticket out of stress and depression.
Yeah. Suddenly having a stable job that works 40 hours a week, has insurance, and pays enough for you to have groceries?
No, gambling, and here's why.
No, okay, hold on. I'm not co-signing this just yet.
When you think about it, is tomorrow going to be a decent day? It might be. It might suck ass.
Okay.
Kind of 50-50, right?
Okay.
It's a gamble as to whether it'll be a good day. So that means you're already gambling, and therefore, you should be having a great time, because gambling's fun.
Vivian narrating my depression brain, convincing me that it's not worth it because I don't know that there'll be guaranteed any happiness tomorrow. Thank you, Vivian.
No, but gambling's fun.
Okay.
So there is guaranteed happiness because there isn't.
She's deep in a bit now, and I don't know how far this... Man. Are you good?
Yeah.
Are you good with whatever you've done and put out there on the internet with your name on it?
Yeah.
All right.
It's definitely stolen from a meme image somewhere.
Uh-huh.
We first went to the pachinko parlor he frequented. Natsume Souichirou. The noise here was far worse than I had expected. I eventually got used to it and decided to start looking for Morichika Haruki, but...
minors aren't allowed in here.
Huh? Souichirou was stopped by an employee. But I'm an adult. Look, I'm even taller than you.
But you're wearing a school uniform, you dumbass.
Wait here, Suo. I'll be quick. So, Natsume doesn't get stopped as a minor, so that's one thing.
Interesting. Okay.
But also, Suo is like, wait, you as my older brother? What? So, is in some way dissimilar enough to Suo, or dissimilar enough to an older brother for that
So
to
he's
land.
maybe a bit older. Oh, did you read this?
No. I hurried inside the parlor, leaving a deeply shocked Suo at the entrance. I looked through the entire place, but found no trace of Morichika anywhere. I had no choice but to ask around. Grinning to myself at how detective-like this would be, I approached the closest person.
The more we learn about Natsume, the more of a fucking dork he is.
I assumed he would be such a suave detective character at the beginning when he showed up.
He's just a precious little dork.
He has no idea what he's doing and is making it up as he goes along. Excuse me, I'm looking for a person by the name of Morichika Haruki. I spoke politely and with a smile, but that only got me a glare. He didn't seem to be in a talkative mood. I went away and racked my head over the situation. Approaching several people here made me realize something. The people at these gambling places were generally of a fluctuating mood. They could be more open to talking if the gambling was going well enough to lift their spirits. Excuse me, I'm looking for a person by the name of Morichika Haruki.
Hello, yes, you the person doing something that's designed for one person and aren't interacting with the people around you. Can you tell me about another person who isn't you coming here? Huh? You cop. Son of a gun finally get busted doing something crazy.
No, I'm just a friend. Going by his reaction, he seemed to know him. Hoping to learn more, I repeated my question.
I don't know. People here don't get too involved with each other. Well, I do recall him saying something about Shinjuku.
Shinjuku. The vagueness of his answer came as a shock, so much so that I ended up just leaving.
Right, and at the end of the stories, at the end of the stories in the first part all ended around Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Right.
Christmas
okay.
game.
Christmas game.
Christmas game. All right. We should have done this for our Christmas stream.
Nice uplifting holiday stories. Everybody kicking the bucket on Christmas Eve.
There we go.
Any luck finding him? Outside, I found Suo Kato waiting for me. He reminded me of a large dog who had to be left outside the supermarket.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's got that energy.
No, he wasn't in there. I see. Wait, do you happen to know Morichika's address? I mean, you said you knew Tojo's, so... I don't, and besides, he's the kind of person who's always on the move. Finding him won't be easy. Aww. Both our shoulders drooped in disappointment. I really wished I'd gotten hold of their numbers or something. It might not have been necessary for the other two, but Morichika Haruki was undoubtedly the kind of person who could only ever be contacted through his cell phone. How am I even supposed to find the number of a guy like that? Wait a second. Ah! I know it. I do actually know his number. Huh? Really? Yeah. Cell phone.
Wait, why does he know his number? Did it come up in part 1?
Or did he just know Morichika's cell phone from the distant past and it flashed back to mind or something?
Maybe? I don't know, but okay.
As I kept frantically sifting through my pockets, realization suddenly hit me like a runaway train. I gave it to Mina.
Wait, so you were friends with Mina and you didn't know...
That's so dope if Natsume was indeed real-life friends with Minato and with Mina and did not...
It just couldn't
put two and two together.
Natsume is such an ally, he refuses to even entertain the notion. What? No, you're Mina. Why would you be anyone else? What? Why are you giving me that look? For the 11th time, I'm not doing a bit. What is this?
You did what? Damn, and I don't have it memorized either. No matter how hard I tried to remember it, I couldn't go beyond 080. This body didn't even belong to Natsume Souichirou, so the phone I'd given away was technically no longer mine.
But he did give away the phone. That did happen. It wasn't just something specific to that one timeline. It is something that happened.
Yeah.
And he hasn't explained why.
Specifically gave away the phone to Mina.
Yeah,
in
to
his
Mina,
own words.
Who he evidently hasn't figured out is also Minato. So why? Was he sad that Mina didn't show up at his funeral? I guess 4 out of 5 ain't bad.
Or he has put it together and is just too much of an ally to say anything.
This is what real ally behavior looks like.
Like, clearly this person is not ready to have their double life become a single life in any way, shape, or form. So I may as well just... These are two separate people as far as I'm concerned for now.
Well, if he did do that, then it would be the kind of thing where we're like, okay, I know Mina has my phone, and I'm not going to follow up on that because that would lead to me collapsing the waveform.
Oh, yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Schrodinger's gender. Just when I'd found a way to contact Morichika Haruki, I ran into yet another roadblock. My own past actions made me feel positively mortified. So, why not just meet the person you gave it to? Yeah? He said it in such a nonchalant manner it nearly made me choke on my spit.
You dumbass.
Meet Mina. As in right now? Did I hear you right? Yeah, it'd solve all our problems. Let's just do it.
Watch us be totally wrong, too.
It'll be very funny if Mina is just a different person.
Right? And then it's just like this whole setup just for nothing. Could you imagine a fun and in-depth visual novel with a lot of really interesting characters, setting up all this really interesting stuff about gender and identity, and then having it mean absolutely nothing?
Can't imagine it.
Can't be me. Can't be me with that.
I need some time to prepare. That's even better.
That's
Natsume
fell for Mina.
Natsume fell for Mina while being friends with Minato and can't put two and two together. I love that. This is a fucking
I'm so happy for him. This is
slapstick
great.
rom-com.
It's literal slapstick shit. He's gonna walk on a fucking banana peel.
We're gonna have the episodes where Minato is hosting a party at his house, but Natsume invites Mina, so has to go back and forth and switch costumes and eventually gets them wrong. We're going to get that episode.
This is honestly turning into a really funny sitcom.
Yeah. Are you serious? We can't keep Rio waiting. Oh, you're right. Let's go.
Oh, I can't wait for this. All right.
After a bit of pep talk from Suo Kato, we promptly headed off to Akihabara. Are you sure this person will be there? Absolutely. She's got a Friday shift, so unless something urgent came up, she should be there.
Did you take a look at that weird bicycle repair shop on the way here?
I'd opened a good amount of doors today, but none of them made my heart keep on jackhammering in my chest the way this one did.
Here's a question. And I think it's relevant to how much Natsume knows here. Is Mina stealth at her job?
Oh.
Or does she work at the kind of place that caters to people expecting that?
Yeah, is this a drag bar?
Yeah, exactly. Because depending on that makes Natsume even more. Because often that's I'm not trying to say that like that has to be just it's a way for people of exploring that in a way that's considered more social. Our audience knows better. I don't have to justify myself to you. You know what I mean.
Welcome back, Measter.
Is Mina around?
Oh yeah, her previous Measter is just about to leave, so I'll go ahead and show you to your seats.
Suo Kato was blinking in confusion, but I walked in like it was nothing. This place is amazing. There are so many servants.
Sir, you brought a child to a maid bar?
This is just a maid cafe. The waitresses are dressed as maids because it's their theme. Wow, these drinks sure are expensive. And why does a small rice omelet cost 1,500 yen?
You precious little bean!
Suo Kato! I whispered a scream at him. He didn't understand that this was a special rice omelet imbued with maid magic. For a modest extra fee, you could even take photos. The added value far exceeded anything you'd find at a usual cafe. Oh my god.
Oh no! Natsume! I'm gonna be honest, nothing has endeared me more to Natsume than this exact moment. Anyway, I'm back.
Sorry for the wait. The frills at the edge of my vision made me look up. Welcome back, Master, and thank you for choosing me. My name is Mina. The lovely smile that bloomed on Mina's face would have put even the most exquisite flowers to shame. Wow, nice to meet you. I'm Suo. The pleasure is all mine, Master Suo, and who is this gentleman with you? I couldn't breathe. It hurt, but I had to talk. Not a single second of her time could be wasted.
What if we're wrong? But what if we're wrong? She's playing it so cool. Then again, that's why she's a goddamn professional.
Oh, yeah. Natsume. I'm Natsume. It's a pleasure to meet you, Master Natsume.
Oh, man. You ever just take a nice big chunk of dramatic irony and just savor that? Just savor it.
Her expression wavered. Was it because she remembered the Natsume that had passed away? May I take your order? We would like to have a word with you. We'd like 2 special rice omelets and 2 milky strawberry drinks, please. Natsume, what about the number? Certainly. Please wait right here. Mina's long black hair swayed behind her as she walked away. God, she's so cute. I followed her with my gaze, with an enamored expression, until someone went and shook my shoulders. Natsume, remember why you're here. Right, Morishika Haruki's number. I know, I got this. Exactly. We can't keep Rio waiting.
Kato absolutely does not understand what is happening here. And you know what? Bless him for that. Bless him for that.
Yes, of course. I kept on nodding while trying to pull myself together. Sorry for the wait. Here's your rice omelet. Yay! Let me cast a spell on it. Here I go.
You ready? You gonna do it?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Moe.
Moe.
Stop! There you go. Please enjoy.
Natsume did it along.
I will. Natsume! This was bad. Just seeing Mina was enough to make me forget why I'd come here in the first place. It definitely wasn't to improve my relationship with Mina. I had to prevent my friends from dying. I made a stern expression and looked at Mina again. Mina, we actually came here because we have something important to ask you. Oh, and what would that be? Mina's twin tails gently fluttered as she tilted her head to the side. It was entirely too much for my heart to handle. Hang in there, Natsume. Deep breaths.
At least Kato doesn't seem any the wiser.
Okay, I'm fine. I put my jumbled thoughts in order, then got straight to the point. I believe you have Natsume's phone. Suddenly, the very air around her changed. How do you know about that, Master? He asked me to come get it. I see. So it was true, she whispered with her tiny, delicate lips before raising her head. I kind of suspected that was why you came, so I went and got it before bringing out your meals. She reached into her apron's pocket and took out a black object. I heard Suo Kato let out an excited
"Wow"
next to me.
That wasn't what I was going for, but it's what it came out as.
May I borrow it? Sure. Here you go. I took the phone from her and looked for Morishika Haruki's entry. I found it right away. It was the number he'd given me a few years ago. I pressed the call button. There was no guarantee he'd pick up, but I had to try. Doing this made me grimace. This was probably how Morishika Haruki himself must have felt back then.
I just received a phone call from a dead guy! Hello?
Morishika Haruki.
Huh? What? A dude? Who are you?
Natsume, the one who waited for you at the church.
Oh.
Where are you now?
Why the hell would I tell you that?
Because you promised.
No, I didn't.
I waited for you. I thought I'd never see you again.
What the hell is the energy on this phone call, man?
There was silence on the other end of the line.
I was just walking around. Should I go to the church now or what?
Wait, no. Come to a certain donut shop. I'll send you the location.
Jesus Christ, what a pain. But you're buying the donuts.
He clicked his tongue and ended the call. I sent him an email, but got no response. Would he really come? I managed to contact him. Thank you, Mina. I gave the cell phone back. Mina looked at me as if she wanted to say something, but instead settled for a curt, I see, and held on to the phone like it meant a lot to her.
Mina also just saw this random stranger unlock Natsume's phone and...
The so it was true, though, totally makes sense if it's like, oh, didn't believe this Natsume is here as a representative of Natsume and so on until now, and is now convinced when it's like, wait, hold up, why do you know I have this phone that was Natsume's? Oh, you can even unlock it? Okay, you must actually have known Natsume.
Yeah,
he must actually have told you to do this.
Anyway.
In any case, do enjoy your food. She then disappeared further into the cafe. Natsume, this went great. We ate our rice omelets and exchanged a smile. It might have grown a little cold, but its magic filled our hearts with warmth all the same. Surely even Suo Keito would understand that.
I'm sorry I stopped doing the magic spell on your breakfast when I make it in the morning. You hadn't commented on it when I stopped, so I assumed you didn't miss it.
I forgot about it, but now I suddenly do miss your magic spell.
I think it's because I've been so, like, we've had so many different substitutions for shit because I haven't been able to get what I need lately.
And I've also had dietary restrictions foisted upon me.
And I'm like, is this fine? Handing you a bowl of, like, flavorless rice gruel. Is this good? Is this what you wanted?
Well, it would be delicious with the spell cast on it. That's
Shit, you're right. You're right. I got to keep doing that then. That's my own fault. Did you read this one?
I did.
Okay.
Now we just have to find Tojo Minato. Should we go where he lives? I'll bring some anpan and milk. I think we should visit Kikuchi Ryo at the donut shop first. Seeing how the shop was on the way, I promptly nodded to myself, then finished up the rest of my rice omelet and washed it down with a syrupy sweet, milky strawberry drink. We're back, Kikuchi. Thanks, Siri.
I wonder if that got on mic or not.
It didn't. That's unfortunate.
Thanks, Siri. Wow, everyone's here.
Huh? He pointed his finger behind him at Morichika Haruki and Tojo Minato. Tojo Minato? Gosh, I'm so sorry. The whole thing completely slipped my mind, but then I just kind of remembered it out of the blue. I asked Ryo, and he said we're gathering here, so I hurried over. I was pleasantly surprised by his unexpected appearance. Morichika, you decided to come too.
Let's just get this over with, okay? I ain't got time to hang out with folks like you. Mina's waiting for me.
I gave him a warm smile, but he hastily averted his gaze, seemingly annoyed by it. It had gotten quite late, but still, getting to see them all in one place warmed my heart to the core. Shall we begin, then? I made a solemn nod as I looked over the 4 people gathered here. Let's think. About what to put in Natsume's coffin. Long story short, today's discussion didn't go anywhere. There were suggestions, of course, like Natsume's favorite foods, trinkets, and hobby items, but there wasn't a single thing that all 4 of them could unanimously agree upon. The meeting thus came to a close on a rather sour note, after which we all went our separate ways.
What do you want? Wait, no, hold on. Well, now, what do you want? Something. No, because it was more like, well, now, what do you want? There it is. Well, let me guess. It's about interfering. You want to know about them downsides now, don't you?
Oh, I've already interfered, actually.
Oh. Huh.
Silence. I forgot that I have to say the silence instead of just being silent.
Yeah. Oh, you some kind of a dumbass? Wow, I had no idea someone could be that rash. Or what? You only hear what you wanted to hear?
No, I thought about it long and hard, and is what I'd like to say, but my mind was made up before I had even considered it. No amount of thinking would have ultimately changed my decision to interfere. I had to find a way to make them happy, even if only a little bit.
Well, good fucking grief. Well, whatever. What's done is done. Just be careful around them librarians. You ain't believe how quickly they change their behavior.
Right?
So, what'd you think about the interference?
I was happy to get to talk to them again. I took some time to process the day's events. Everything happened at such a hectic pace that I never actually had any time to sort through my feelings. It was only now that it occurred to me that the day I had just experienced was filled with things that my old self, the Natsume that died, could never have experienced. My resolve has only grown deeper.
Any, specific changes?
Yes, when I came back there was a puddle of blood on the floor.
Anything else?
Well, it's also mildly disorienting to no longer have my original body.
How do you even... Oh, right. Not only did you keep your old memories, you actually got to assign to your own world to boot. I don't envy you, pal.
I can only hope I'll get used to it eventually.
So, why exactly are you so attached to them? Ain't that the $20 question?
Huh?
I mean, I get that y'all were best buds in life, but they're nobodies to you now, so what gives? You still got your memories, but you now belong here, to the heavens, and it's messed you up a bit. You normally wouldn't care this much about a bunch of lower realm folks you only known a couple years. What is it that drives you?
I was really happy to be born.
Just pushing out like, yes! Yes!
I remembered the time before Natsume Souichirou's death, back when I was still enjoying life, even if the River of Oblivion... Oblivier? Made me forget the
We've been
immediate
working on that one
events.
for a while. Our top researchers still haven't figured that one out.
Even if the River of Oblivion made me forget the immediate events leading up to my death, the memories I shared with them were still with me.
Oh, shit.
Before dying, I had a different disposition than I do now as a spectator. It's hard to explain, but the world back then seemed so wonderful and brimming with life. It felt like everything I had ever touched was handcrafted by someone. The idea that nature had spent so much time creating all this filled me with an immense amount of gratitude. Every person I met was a miracle, and I did genuinely cherish them with all my heart and soul. Including, of course, Kikuchi Ryo, Tojo Minato, Morichika Haruki, and Suo Kato.
You might be even more of a sweet bean than Kato is.
Those four were special.
But not the lady you gave your cell phone to. Why'd you do that anyway before you died? Seems awfully convenient, given everything.
I was drawn to them almost instinctively. I had no specific reason, but even trying to come up with one would have been rude, I think. I guess you could call it fate. They've been on my mind all this time, even back when I was still alive. We may not have been overly involved with each other, but the fact remains that I did cherish them. So, I want them to be happy. That's the only thing I truly want. I have no other desire. Totally he does.
Aww.
A moment passed in silence before he finally whispered back at me.
I wonder if you'd turn out like this if you remembered your final moments. The main factor behind becoming a spectator is to reach enlightenment. Nirvana, if you will.
Huh?
Hope you like grunge music. Make no mistake, you've been chosen as a spectator precisely because you reached Nirvana. Really?
Interesting.
Someone as blissfully amazed and at every single thing in the world and seemingly cherishing a lot of worldly things. Like, admittedly, that's really good things to cherish, but they're still very worldly. That seems antithetical to reaching Nirvana.
Yeah. Nervo what?
You retain your memories. You're pointed to the story you were in, and now you're interfering with that very same story. You're a real anomaly. But, don't worry about the certainty of your own existence. Natsume Souichirou definitely existed.
Excuse me?
Hey, relax. I ain't here to just casually make you question some of the things you've taken for granted this whole time. I'm sure things will go well for you. Wait, hold on. Where were you, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, I just needed to take a walk for a change of pace.
A walk should be acceptable. I must, however, remind you to stay away from the darkness. Again, I tried putting up a wet floor sign over there and it just got sucked into the darkness again. Maybe the floor really is slippery. The scent of sin might seep into you. I really have to speak with upper management about keeping the sin corridor so close to where we work. Like, we couldn't have picked a space like, I don't know, another 50 yards down. Seems like tempting fate, really. Oh yes, I can smell it quite clearly. This is not the scent of paper.
Really? Seeing how intimidated I was, the woman's lips curled into a smile.
Us librarians boast a keen sense of smell. We're always surrounded by books, you see. So any other smell we pick up tends to stand out. What we librarians do is merely fix books. You would do well to not forget that. Natsume Souichirou.
The meaning behind those words sent a chill down my spine. Once she had left, I breathed a heavy sigh. My heart was still going like a locomotive. Good thing she didn't pry any further. It made me think back to that mysterious voice behind the door. What was he confined in there for? Actually, never mind. I have no time to start worrying about others right now. All I need to think about is setting their story on the right course.
Mamiya is Natsume, who has done this for so long and tried to get his friends happy endings for so long that he feels the only way they can get happy endings is by getting them out, is by causing them to die and taking them out of the story.
Okay.
Because we know that, like, there's some level of timey-wimey fuckery about when the times they're allowed to spectate, right?
Yep.
So, Mamiya is Natsume having lost sight of the goal.
Could be. It was my personal quest, my holy mission in a way.
Hey! Wait, just quick, Mamiya. I thought that was like, the end of the thing, though. No?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be 2.
I thought that, I guess we're, I don't know, I was prepared, I had ramped it up as soon as I saw that, be like, and that's a sode, and now it's still going, but I guess we'll continue it next time.
Yeah,
What the fuck do I know? Sorry, this one was a bit more of a podcast, but, you know, it happens.
So it does.
It's part of book club.
Part of book club.
Book club is not just talking about the book, it's talking about the feelings and emotions and experiences of your life that inform how you read the book. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Book club.
You read the book and you get clubbed by the emotions.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.